Actually, a lot of you who had opinions on Derrek Lee as high as top 10,
I mean, he's
possibly
not
without thinking of it.
he's not a 260 hitter. There's nothing in his life that says. I mean, the back is an issue.
last year.
Except
Right. Well, but he's not. Look at the batting average in balls in play from last year. His home run per fly ball rate 2 years ago was ridiculously high. He's not going to hit that kind of power. Except he's going to Camden, which adds 21% to home runs to right-handed hitters, and 8% to batting average for right-handed hitters. This is a dream location for him. I think, yes, you can argue you worry about the back, but if you can get over that.
Wasn't it the
Well,
stone?
yeah, I was going to say he had
Stone, I
thumb
think.
reconstructive
Jimmy Carr's
surgery.
Yeah, but his back is
the big
back
issue.
is
the
I
chronic
think.
thing. I mean,
Yeah.
and
But
that.
we'll see how it, I mean, when thumb reconstructive surgery sometimes takes a guy to get a while to get their hitting back. It's his right thumb. It's his throwing hand. He's out of a cast. He's doing exercise. He thinks it's going to be fine. We'll see.
I will freely admit the batting average on Lee might be a little bit low. I think that the bigger worry is the back and the power issues. I mean, this is a guy who could very easily be under 20 home runs. And we're accounting on a batting average bounce back. I just don't think it puts him in the class of some of the other guys, that were here. The projection has him at 271, 20 home runs.
And how many at bats?
Let's
I
see.
think if the at bats are there, that's so low.
527.
Well, I think that's low for that many at bats.
20 homers?
I mean,
He had
the
19 last
He's had
year,
19, 20, and
35,
22 outside of that
22.
one-year spike.
right, but it's Camden. I just think,
He was at Wrigley.
yeah, Camden's better for right-hand batters than Wrigley is.
I'm just saying, it's not like Wrigley's a pitcher's park.
Yeah, but it's not great for right-hand hitters.
No, there's a definite difference. In right-handed power, there's a definite difference in Camden versus Wrigley. But I think
Derrek Lee had that power, though.
I think the 20 home runs is reflecting that. Where do back issues really show up in the stats? They show up in the power numbers.
I think it would show up in at bats. Like, I think if you project him for 500 at bats, I think he's got a better stat line than that. I can see people being risk averse and saying, I'd rather project him for 350 because I'm very worried he's going to be hurt.
I don't think Lee should be out of the top 20,
Yeah.
but I'm not comfortable with him anything other than in that, barely in the top 20. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, just for the risk reward of Derrek Lee versus Billy Butler,
Take Billy Butler all day long.
I'd take
Absolutely.
I think I'd take Derrek Lee. I think the reward of Butler is for a corner.
Butler's one of the few guys on this list, though, coming up here that have upside, like that,
From what
potential
he's-
to
yeah.
do more than they've done.
The question is Billy Butler's ability to do something, as you said, Keith, that he's never done before, versus Lee's ability to do something that he has done before, but we're not really sure if he still can. I mean, I'm not sure those things are of unequal chances. Do you think there's a far greater chance that Butler?
Can we agree that Billy Butler's probably not had his best season yet?
I think a lot of
Yes.
times, a lot of times we err on the side of, hey, why not take the guy that has that room for growth over someone who, if Derrek Lee's going to get you 22 homers.
Yeah. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
the counter to that is Paul Konerko, right? Last year, that case was being made like, well, you got to take Billy Butler over Paul Konerko, upside, 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 and we forget sometimes that past performance is also upside because he could do it again.
Look at Derrek Lee, right? Here, look at his. I'm just looking at his home runs the last 4 years, like 19, 35, 20, 22.
Right, and
he had the outlier year of 09, but
I admit that the outlier year was supported by a not realistic home run per fly ball. There's no question that's not going to happen again. I agree, but I think 25 is very possible in that park. And with 25, he's not a 260 hitter. He's a
280 hitter.
right, but last year was a 260 hitter.
Right. I mean, yeah, right. So I mean, but he's not a 300 hitter anymore. I think is my argument here.
What's
I mean, he's a
interesting-
career 282 hitter.
What's interesting is the fact that just as it turns out, in the first run, both Butler and Lee are projected for 20 home runs. Both have chances not to reach that, and I think there's a non-zero chance that they could both exceed that. I don't think there's any way Billy Butler's not putting up the batting average, and Lee's batting average I think is there's a little bit uncertainty there, and I think doesn't have they could have the same amount of home runs. There could be a 20-point difference in batting average between the two this year. And that could be huge.